Becoming a Pokemon Master was one of my biggest dreams as a 10-year-old, and I hope you can relate to that. But you know what else is every kid's dream? Becoming the Hokage. And so today, Ash Ketchum and his Pikachu are gonna take a backseat because I wanted to see what would happen if Naruto Uzumaki had the chance to become the very best, like no one ever was. And that's why today I want to start a 3-part series exploring the Naruto region, home to many unique, wonderful Pokemon, fierce gym leaders, and even a secret evil team hidden in the shadows.
Oh no, whoever could it be? Definitely not the edgy guys who shop at Hot Topic.
This is the story about how 10-year-old Naruto Uzumaki will become the Hokage and the Shinobi League champion. But to do that, he's of course going to need a real strong starter Pokemon, and don't worry Naruto, I've got you absolutely covered. Because I've created 3 original starter Pokemon with their own signature moves to help Naruto and his friends conquer the Naruto world. And so let's kick things off with the water-type starter, Vipenaught. Vipenaught, the snake rope Pokemon. It uses its curled up body to spring out at its target and then strong fangs to pierce through their defenses. Behind its cute eyes is hidden darkness waiting for the right moment to strike. As you might guess, its name comes from the words Viper and Knot, and its entire evolution line pretty much takes inspiration from the great snakes of Ryuchi Cave. And specifically, the line here draws inspiration from Manda, the great snake used by Orochimaru and Kabuto, as well as Sasuke's snake, Aoda. You'll also notice that along its underbelly it has the curse mark Tomoe, which ties it to both Sasuke and Orochimaru, as it's of course the signature design of the Sharingan as well. And it also has some fierce fish fins that help it slither through the water at high speeds as well. And I think the cutest little detail we added, its right fang is just a little bit larger than the left here, which is kind of meant to be a play on the gimmick of Naruto summoning, where you have to bite your own thumb to get a little bit of blood for the jutsu. Vipenaught is a little physical guy who uses his speed and attack stats to take care of his opponents really quickly. It can boost the damage of water-type moves with its ability Torrent, but it also gets access to a wicked hidden ability with Rough Skin. As for moves, it gains access to fun and tactical moves like Grab and Flip Turn, and then can also use Coil, for example, to raise its own stats up so it can finish off its opponents with a nasty bite attack. Overall, I think he's a pretty cute little guy, but has the potential to evolve into a truly fierce second stage Pokemon. Cue the music. Whoa, there it is. Okay, Pokedex, who's that Pokemon? Cobrate, the binding Cobra Pokemon. Despite its tied-up body, this predator springs to life when it senses fear. It leaps forward at speeds faster than a car to wrap up its prey, draining them of their chakra. Alright, well that was a little bit dark, but I guess so are most Pokemon entries nowadays pretty much. I think this is just the perfect evolution of this little snake knot here, becoming a braided cobra. And while yes, I do know that it kind of looks a little bit like a pretzel, it definitely isn't. This shape is actually called an obi knot and is the rope used to secure a kimono. And of course, if you're a Naruto fan, you'll clearly recognize it from Orochimaru, Sasuke, and pretty much all of the Sound Ninja's clothing as well. I'd say it's pretty much an Orochimaru staple and all of his disciples wear it. So to me, it only makes a lot of sense that this line based on him has it as well. And yes, as you can tell, its right fang continues to outgrow the left, and I kind of wonder if that will still be the case when it evolves again. But enough about design here. Let me tell you what this bad boy can actually do. And of course, for starters, it's an even stronger and faster version of Vipenaught, really embodying that fast physical sweeper position on a team. And if you're not a huge Pokemon fan, that's basically a sort of fan term given to Pokemon with high speed and attack stats that quickly dismantle an opposing team before they themselves get the chance to even attack. Now, Cobrate here learns even stronger water and dark type moves like Crunch, a powered up version of Bite, as well as Aqua Jet, one of the most useful water type moves out there. But it also really gains some new extra type coverage through moves like Ice Fang and Poison Fang, which play on Orochimaru's mastery of ninjutsu and also help inflict strong status effects like Freeze and Poison. And this can really help Cobrate dominate the battlefield. Now, combining these with its hidden ability Rough Skin ensures that Cobrate always hurts its opponent even if it loses. You know, just like Orochimaru when he fights Hiruzen or Sasuke in his battles with Naruto, I mean, even when you defeat them, they still end up taking you down with them.
I won't lie, Sasuke could Chidori me through the heart and I'd still love him.
Alright, Cobrate is a great Pokemon, but something tells me that its evolution is gonna be an extra wicked Pokemon. And look, it's evolving again. What convenient timing. Whoa, okay. That thing, I think, looks insane. Tell me more, tell me more. Obirochi, the snake demon Pokemon. Its fangs grew to such a massive size, its only choice was to break them off and use them as weapons of pure destruction. Once it ties up an enemy, they are already dead. No opponent is strong enough to break through its restriction. Now for Obirochi's name, we drew inspiration from a couple of key words here, notably Obi, which we discussed earlier is the knot around its waist, but also Orochi, the 8-headed snake demon from Japanese mythology. In fact, in Japanese mythology, this demonic serpent fought Susanoo, the god of storms, in a truly epic battle that changed the entire world. And of course, if all of that sounds familiar, it's exactly because it is the direct inspiration for Itachi and Orochimaru's legendary battle, where Itachi uses his Susanoo to seal away Orochimaru, who has at this point transformed into an 8-headed serpent beast by using the Totsuka blade. Because come on, we do love ourselves a mangaka who uses mythology as inspiration. As the Pokédex mentioned, Obirochi's fangs grew too big for its own mouth, so it kind of just snapped them off and used them as twin swords. Of course, we made sure that the left fang is still shorter, so it's actually assumed the Hyoho Niten Ichiryu sword style, because this sword style, translated as the school of two heavens as one, is basically assumed when a wielder uses a katana and a wakizashi, a longer and shorter samurai blade at the same time. And as you can see, Obirochi gets an even bigger obi knot made out of its shedded snake skin, and the tomoe on its underbelly move up to its shoulders and upper body. But now that we've covered its design, it's now time to talk about how epic this mon is gonna be in battle. For starters, Obirochi gains a new typing, becoming a water and dark type Pokemon, boosting the damage output of all of its dark type moves. It now gains access to strong moves like Night Slash, Poison Jab, and the incredibly tactical move Knock Off, a move that gets rid of the opponent's held item. And of course, since we truly want to try and embrace its Naruto-verse inspiration, Obirochi also gains access to the move Final Gambit, an all-or-nothing move that knocks out Obirochi itself, but deals all of its remaining HP as damage to the target. Because at all costs, this guy will crush his enemy even if it breaks his own body. But honestly, who needs all of these moves when Obirochi also gains access to its own signature move, Octofang? Because by using its gnarly fang swords, Obirochi slashes the target 6 to 8 times, and while each hit only has 10 power, making them fairly weak, it also has a 30% chance to flinch the target as well. Which maybe doesn't seem that broken at first, until you remember how much stronger it gets when you consider Obirochi's hidden ability now changes from Rough Skin to Super Luck, raising its chances of landing a critical hit. And so ultimately, Obirochi is just a deadly assassin Pokemon that's unmatched in a one-on-one battle. And that's pretty much why Naruto won't even get a chance to use it, because his rival Sasuke is of course just gonna be swooping in and taking it without hesitation. Then Sasuke told everyone that he was going to use his new Pokemon to kill his brother and just ran towards Route 1. Really weird guy, honestly. Kinda wonder if we'll run into him again. Alright, but next up we have our Grass-type starter line. Maybe this will be what Naruto chooses? After all, he does want to be the Hokage of the Hidden Leaf Village? So let's just shift over to our next Pokemon, the Grass starter, Snailleaf. Snailleaf, the Snail Trail Pokemon. It uses the petal-like shield around its eyes to block out the sun and negative energy from enemy Pokemon. Its Light Trail is said to have magical healing properties if used correctly. Now obviously, Snailleaf's name is clearly based on the word snail and leaf, and its evolution line draws inspiration from the majestic and wonderful Lady Katsuyu, the Slug Lord of the Shikotsu Forest, which I just realized directly translates to damp bone forest, which is just super weird and freaky, and I kinda don't know how I feel about that, to be honest with you.
You're a damp bone.
Alright, we don't have to go there, Pompon, please.
I call it like I see it. What can I say?
Now, I kind of wanted Snailleaf here to be a cute little slug that has a bunch of hidden potential and is just the most adorable thing ever. I mean, look at it. I want one. No, I want two. I want 1,000. Yeah, I think 1,000, that might be enough. Now, since it's a starter Pokemon, it can't do all that much at first, but it's also a pain to get rid of. It kind of takes Lady Katsuyu's role in the series very seriously, being a long-lasting healer on the battlefield. Especially with healing moves like Absorb and Synthesis, Snailleaf isn't going anywhere quickly. And yes, it also has the regular ability Overgrow, but its hidden ability Triage, I think that's how you say it. That one really helps with the healing as well. And let me tell you, its bulky healer vibes get only more terrifying and powerful when it evolves into its second stage. So I believe in you, Snail Leaf. Come on, evolve and let the beauty of cherry blossoms color the world. Quick, Pompon, can you grab me the Pokedex?
Nah, I'm good, man.
Alright, cool. Thanks for the help as always. I'll do it myself. Slugura, the healing slug Pokemon. When the Sakura petals grow in its back, it gains access to hidden extrasensory powers. This Pokemon can dominate the battlefield with its cognitive powers and life-draining ooze. It is said to be a delicacy in the Kalos region. Now, Slugura here gains its secondary typing much earlier than the water and fire starters in this line, becoming a grass and psychic type Pokemon in the secondary stage. And I personally felt like psychic makes a lot of sense here because medical ninjutsu is a delicate art that requires expert chakra control, and Sakura and Lady Tsunade, the two main people that we know summon the slugs, are obviously absolute experts in this specific style of ninjutsu. But actually, the psychic type has a secondary fun tie-in as well, as Sakura is a genjutsu type ninja, a label given to shinobi who have expert chakra control. So I felt it kind of only made sense that the Pokemon based on her summons taps into this very supernatural genjutsu through the psychic type. Plus, of course, in real life and Japanese folklore, cherry blossom trees are often associated with supernatural or magical powers. They are these sacred symbols of beauty, human life, and transience, and sometimes are said to even possess human souls inside of them, so psychic is by far absolutely the best secondary typing for this rad slug when you really take everything what I just said into consideration. As for the name, this comes from 3 words, slug, goo, and Sakura. And as you'll notice, compared to Snail Leaf, it's gotten a lot bigger already, which tends to be a trend for grass starters for some reason. I mean, look at Bayleaf, Grotle, or Quilladin. They are big compared to other second stage evolutions, I think. Like seriously, Slugura here is a thick slug, and it's got a bunch of new features that really step up the design, I think. It gains another pair of arms, and the 2 little antennae on its head tripled, giving it 6 in total now. And as the Pokedex mentioned earlier, the Sakura petals on its head shifted down and turned into these pretty Sakura petal wings that don't actually help it fly yet, but assist in the supernatural chakra control vibes overall, I think. And we also gave it access to some really good moveset upgrades like the moves Leech Seed, Light Screen, and Hypnosis to stay on the battlefield a lot longer. And even though a slug isn't as exciting at first thought, like this grass starter is actually turning out to be pretty rad, and I have a feeling that it's only gonna get even more wild when it does evolve. So do it, Slugura! Do it! Evolve! Please! I appreciate that. Wow, that is one big slug. Mentargo, the transcendent slug Pokemon. With its immense psychic power, Mentargo shreds through enemies by channeling the power of the forest, breaking their bodies and their minds. When Mentargo unleashes its full psychic power, it is said to be stronger than an army of a small nation. Alright, I guess we just turned everything up a little notch. I mean, I gotta say, this thing I think rules. It grew 2 more legs, the Sakura petals on its back flew off and are controlled by its psychic powers now, and the antennas that it had have now turned into powerful antlers that it channels chakra with. Now, if you're an eagle-eyed viewer, you might have also noticed that the new 5th petal floating above its head has a small eyeball in it, kind of representing the fact that it has opened its 3rd eye. In case you're curious, the 3rd eye is a mystical concept that is said to be located in the forehead and is associated with a chakra built on intuition, insight, and mysticism. It's kind of said to help people see the supernatural and metaphysical world, so I just had to weave it into the design of this specific Pokemon. Though I do think that my favorite part of this Pokemon are the markings on its head, because it gains a small Sakura petal mark in its forehead based on Lady Tsunade and Sakura's strength of 100 seal, also known as the 100 healings mark. And by combining this super fancy healing mark with the creation rebirth technique, these characters gain access to the forbidden jutsu, Ninja Art Creation Rebirth, Strength of 100 technique. After all, this is how they both became absolute units of war on the battlefield, and so I just had to represent that on Mentargo's body as well. That's why the Pokedex also said that it could become stronger than the army of a small nation, because it takes direct inspiration from this very jutsu. But there's even more, because the Jutsu Creation Rebirth that lets these characters heal a bunch super fast is also tied to Lady Katsuya as well. So it brings in the whole slug motive again as the strength of the Katsuya summon, which is directly tied to the chakra control and reserves in their medical ninjutsu as well. And that's why I chose to make this line's signature move the epic setup move, Sakura Rebirth. For this move, I thought it would be cool to let Mentargo heal 30% of its maximum HP and has a 75% chance to randomly heal a stat as well. I kind of felt like it played on Creation Rebirth and the strength of 100 seal really well, while not being a just completely broken and bannable move. But when you consider that Mentargo can also use the powerful setup move Cosmic Power, negate enemy healing with Heal Block, and even lower the enemy stats with moves like Lumina Crash or Syrup Bomb, just the fact that it has a stat-raising heal move makes it a dangerous Pokemon that any team would benefit from having. Plus, its new hidden ability, Magic Bounce, drastically impacts enemy status moves, making it incredibly hard to get rid of. And well, as you might have already guessed, Naruto didn't choose this one either. Dang, I really thought the whole leaf thing would hook him up, but unfortunately, when Sakura walked in and playfully said that she liked it, Naruto just fell head over heels and let her take Snail Leaf instead. That boy is down bad. Poor kid. Hopefully he gets over this. But you know what? This may have actually been a blessing in disguise, as there is one last Pokemon that embodies everything Naruto. Let me introduce you to the fire starter, Pyropole.
Pyropole, the hot tadpole Pokemon. It carries a pot of hot coals in the jar on its back so that it may always stay warm. Groups of Pyropole are known to hunt down stronger opponents, flinging themselves at their target to defeat them, regardless of the damage dealt to themselves.
And I'm just gonna say it, this little fireball may just be my favorite design that we came up with of the entire bunch. I mean, his face already gives this, oh yeah, I'm broken inside and I will crush you type of vibe, and he's just a weird little guy, and I absolutely live for it. And you know what else I live for? You becoming a Tanuki Tales channel member, because you'll get access to extended cuts of videos like our Smash Bros characters here, early access to our videos, and you'll make me a really happy person, and more importantly, you will finance Pompom's macaron addiction. Shameless plug aside, as you can guess, Pyropole and its evolutions take a ton of inspiration from the Toads of Mount Myoboku. And I have a feeling that his final form may even rival that of the great Gamabunta himself. He's got a little Naruto, a little Minato, and a lot of Jiraiya in him, and to me, that kind of makes for the perfect fire-type starter Pokemon. Its name comes from the words Pyro and Tadpole, and he's small but very mighty, using powerful moves like Ember and Flame Charge, but also the classics like Tackle and Defense Curve. Now, little guy here uses both special attacks and physical attacks, making him what they call in the business a mixed attacker. As you'd guess, he's got access to the normal fire starter ability Blaze, but a truly powerful Pyropole can even tap into its hidden ability, Moody. Sometimes he's angry, sometimes he's pervy, but he's definitely always powerful. Naruto, this toad is all yours. Go take off on your journey and become Hokage and Pokemon champion, and in the meantime, I'll tell the viewers what they actually want to know, which is what your Pyropole will actually evolve into. Conveniently enough, I also have a Pyropole, don't tell Naruto, and mine is about to evolve, so let's watch and see what it becomes.
Look, an even bigger toad thing. Gross. Icky. Hate that.
Alright, please quit. Can you just quit being a hater? It's pretty much just like you. Look, it hangs out in a pot, and you do that sometimes.
Yeah, a teapot. Not some little weird vase jar.
You know what? Truly, I sometimes don't know what I'm supposed to do with you. Okay, Pokédex, please tell me about my new Pokemon, please.
Flurbian, the hidden toad Pokemon. By emptying the pot of coals on its back, this toad warrior can hide from its opponents in plain sight. The pot is incredibly durable after years of holding hot coals, firing it like a kiln. Flurbians have been seen trying to communicate with their foes to not fight, but normally resort to violence.
Alright, so this toad has mellowed out on the outside, but still has a fiery passion on the inside. He kind of looks like the type of guy who would scream, "Believe it," and then bash you in the skull with his bulky forearms. Plus, it often hides inside of its pot, and legend says that these pots line the halls of bathhouses everywhere in the Naruto world. It truly is a pervy toad unlike any other. Kinda wanted to have it grow horns on its head that kind of mimic the little spikes on Jiraya's headband, as well as some hair that resembles a Minato hairstyle, at least a little bit I think. Its fangs then protrude from its underbite, resembling that of an Oni or an Oni mask, and in case you don't know, Onis are these yokai, a sort of spirit demon creature in Japanese folklore, and they kind of resemble orcs, trolls, or ogres. These creatures are often associated with the Yakuza because of their rough exterior, and I kind of felt like the sort of harder exterior really matched that of the toads. Especially when we think about the mythical toads of Mount Myoboku in Naruto, because they often have horns on their head, so the Jiraiya headband also ties into this part of the design inspiration as well. And actually something else that you might not know is that this Oni and mask aesthetic are very popular aspects of Kabuki theater, a very stylized type of stage play in Japan. They're kind of comical and iconic for their dynamic poses and very fun dances, and the reason that this is important is due to the fact that Jiraiya takes a lot of inspiration from Kabuki as well, especially those fun little poses that he hits whenever he shows up. And so I really wanted Flurbian and its evolution to also draw heavily on this fun performative design as well, especially when it uses moves like Bulk Up, Fiery Dance, or Power Up Punch. And when you combine this with their hidden ability Moody, you never know what to expect when a Flurbian actually hits the scene. And let me tell you, this goes double for its final evolution, so come on Flurbian, show me what you're really made of. Alright, okay, oh my god. I am so hype about, okay, this design is so sick. I just wanna get my Switch, honestly, and just start playing. Like, what? Okay, Pokedex, you gotta tell me everything there is to know about this absolute beast.
Assaultoads, the Goliath toad Pokemon. Assaultoad are known for their immense power and stubborn demeanor. By using their massive pipes like heavy weapons, they disorient their opponents with titanic hits and smoke screens. While they do seem straightforward and simple-minded, they are incredibly smart when it comes to the art of war.
And finally, our Firestarter also gains its secondary typing, the completely unique to only it Fire Fighting type. Like, I guarantee you, there are no other firefighting starter Pokemon out there, and even if there were, they would not be as good as my Assaultoad here. Alright, jokes aside here, let me break him down for you a little bit. He gains a mighty mane, kind of like Jiraiya-sensei, and becomes a hulking behemoth. His horns now grow to become mighty weapons on his head, and his fangs mimic that of a silverback gorilla. He also does look a little bit like he skipped leg day with that gigantic body of his, which is, you know, totally respectable as a fellow gym bro. Respect. And now the pot that it's carried around since childhood has now become a mighty pipe, and I actually drew inspiration from a different series for this specific physical design, because if you're a Hunter x Hunter fan, you'll probably recognize this pipe as the signature weapon of Morel Macronacy, but this choice was very deliberate as Jiraiya and Morel share a similar role in the series, helping push the main character through their darkest moments. Plus, don't forget that both Jiraiya and Gamabunta both smoke from that big old pipe that they have, so it only makes a lot of sense for Assaultoad to follow suit as well here. And I think my personal favorite design choice we made was the spiral motive on his body, resembling obviously the Uzumaki clan spiral, a nod to the Toad's greatest ally, none other than Naruto himself. But of course I hope you also want to know what Assaultoad can actually do, so who am I to gatekeep that information? Assaultoad brutalizes its opponent with powerful fighting type moves like Close Combat, Hammer Arm, and Victory Dance. And when things get really desperate, or it wants to show off I guess, it can gamble everything on the move No Retreat, which boosts all of its stats but locks it inside of battle. And maybe you know where I got this from, but I kind of felt like I needed to include this because of the tragic Jiraiya and Pain fight where the pervy sage puts everything on the line in a fight that he was never gonna walk away from. But don't worry, because Assaultoad here also has really intense flaming and taps into them with iconic moves like Fire Blast, Heat Wave, and Overheat. Let's just say that his fighting spirit burns true, and it's clear that Assaultoad here has the will of fire. You know, the powerful driving force that pushes all of the Hidden Leaf Shinobi and is essential to becoming the Hokage. Minato and Naruto both have the will of fire and are Toad summoners, but what I do feel is often forgotten is that Jiraiya was also offered this role as well, but he actually ended up declining it as he felt like he was not the best choice, giving that role to Tsunade instead. So is that it? No. I still haven't talked about Assaultoad's signature move, Roasting Thwack. It's a fighting type move, and when it's used, Assaultoad swings its pipe at its enemy, boosting its speed by launching flames out of it as well, kind of like a booster. This move deals incredible damage and has a 15% chance to burn or stun. A truly powerful move that can put its opponents in a bind, especially if they are physical attackers, as the burn status condition halves their own attack stats. But what is truly terrifying is the fact that this Pokemon's hidden ability is Scrappy. In case you don't know, Scrappy allows the user to hit Ghost-type Pokemon with its normal and fighting-type moves, meaning that nobody is literally safe from catching these hands. Whether you're an Edo Tensei Reanimation or a Gengar, you are getting bonked by that pipe. It also has the extra perk of preventing Assaultoad from being intimidated, and that makes him, I guess, even more powerful. We might even have made him a little bit too broken, but it's okay, because he is the main character's starter Pokemon after all. So Assaultoad, you are a mighty Pokemon, and in my opinion, the coolest Toad around. Now, there's of course only one big question left here, because what other Pokemon will Naruto actually catch on his journey to become champion of the Shinobi region? Well, luckily enough, I answered that exact question in this video, where I break down what a bunch of different anime character Pokemon teams would actually look like. Characters like Naruto, Luffy, or Blee, I mean Ichigo himself, so go give this video a watch and see what other teammates Assaultoad will have on Naruto's team, because we will need it for the next video. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Please give us feedback. I really want to make more of these anime Pokemon crossover videos. And yeah, leave us a comment what you think would be better, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Pompon, say goodbye? No? Okay. Bye.